We've all seen the classic movie scene. You're standing face to face with a massive predator, and the rule is simple: don't move a muscle. The theory goes that if you stay completely still, a giant reptile simply won't be able to see you. In reality, trying to play statue would be a fatal mistake. These creatures possessed hyper-acute senses. Long before they ever needed to use their eyes, they could feel the low-frequency vibrations of your footsteps through the ground and catch your scent from miles away. This timeline illustrates how long different species controlled the planet. Notice this massive 190 million year block representing the reign of the dinosaurs. Now look at the very end. This microscopic sliver is the roughly 6 million years humans have existed. It raises an interesting hypothetical. Imagine the asteroid never hit Earth. If early humans had been forced to share the planet with these massive reptiles, we have to wonder if our intelligence and tool building would have been enough to keep us alive. To answer that, we're going to run a biological stress test. We'll drop a human directly into the Mesozoic era to see how long our species would actually survive. The Mesozoic climate presents the first major barrier to human survival. Severe global warming melted polar ice caps, drastically raised ocean levels, and caused rampant forest fires to constantly sweep through the dense prehistoric jungles. Average temperatures regularly hovered around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, with intense, suffocating humidity. Our human cooling system, sweating, struggles to function in extreme humidity because the moisture can't easily evaporate from our skin. This leads to rapid physical exhaustion just from standing outside. Even if you avoid heat stroke, you need calories. You might be able to extract safe drinking water trickling down through the natural filtration of cave rock, but finding a meal is incredibly difficult. The energy-dense foods that fueled human brain development, things like sweet fruits and flowering vegetables, hadn't evolved yet. The landscape is mostly ferns, conifers, and ancient mosses. Your foraging options are mostly limited to tough, fibrous prehistoric plants and unidentified fungi. Since you have zero frame of reference for what is safe and what is toxic, every single bite is a lethal game of chance. Your brain might be capable of complex problem solving, but the extreme heat and lack of edible calories would likely starve you out before you ever encountered a dinosaur. But let's assume you survive the climate and fashion a primitive weapon, like a wooden spear, to defend yourself. You quickly realize the scale of the problem. A wooden or even stone-tipped spear is virtually useless against their thick, leathery hides. You are going up against massive biological armor and robust skeletal structures that completely neutralize early human weaponry, and the physical mismatch goes far beyond size. The ultimate advantage dinosaurs possessed was actually hidden in their lungs. This cross-section shows the difference. On the left, a mammal's lung traps stale, carbon dioxide-filled air with every exhale, severely limiting oxygen and causing rapid fatigue. On the right, the dinosaur's continuous loop air sac system constantly circulates fresh air, leaving zero trapped stale air behind. Because of this constant supply of highly oxygenated air, these massive predators could sprint at top speeds without ever needing to stop and pant, easily outpacing our stamina. Our intellect and tool-making abilities cannot compensate for an opponent that wears thick armor and literally never runs out of breath. In a direct head-to-head matchup, early humans would be hunted to absolute extinction. So, the terrestrial survival simulation is a total failure. Stepping back to look at the Earth isolated in the blackness of space, we have to ask how mammals ever managed to take control of the planet at all. The setup required an incredibly specific sequence of events. First, our planet had to form in the exact right orbit, the habitable Goldilocks zone, where temperatures allow liquid water to pool on the surface. Then, roughly 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized planet named Theia collided with Earth. Instead of shattering our planet completely, the resulting debris coalesced and formed our moon. The collision produced a moon with the gravitational influence needed to permanently stabilize Earth's tilt and ocean tides, creating an environment steady enough to support complex biology. But even with a perfectly stabilized planet, mammals were kept small, nocturnal, and confined to the shadows. As long as apex predators ruled the jungles and open savannas, early mammals had zero room to evolve or grow larger. The asteroid impact 66 million years ago functioned as a cosmic reset button, clearing the board of the planet's dominant species. We didn't outsmart the dinosaurs, and we certainly couldn't outrun them. We are here simply because an apocalyptic accident wiped the board clean, leaving the top of the food chain completely empty for us to claim.